Hi everyone, my name's Allison and I have a YouTube channel called DIY Aria, and on this channel I share organizing videos and creative craft projects, and my hope is that my videos will inspire your own projects. So in this video I'm going to show you how I make a hair bow inspired by the Apple TV Plus series Palm Royale, and I loved so many things about this show. I love the production design and the fashion. Of course, the actors were terrific, and the plot was really, gripping. I found some ribbons at Michael's that reminded me of the 1960s era that the show is set in, and I found a wired, this is an orange print, that's very tropical, and I also found a green leaf ribbon. It's an interesting detail it's going to add to the hair bow. And I've also found a orange yellow Jacquard print, and I think that's it looks like Tory Burch to me a little bit, and it's really beautiful. And of course I found some alligator clips that were gold, and I thought this went with the theme of the hair bow, so I'm going to use those as the base, and I'm not going to cover it with any ribbon because I feel they're so beautiful that they don't need to be covered. So you'll need a needle and thread. I just use white thread because it's covered usually. You put a ribbon over any of the stitching. And then I'm going to use some needles. And of course my Jacquard scissors. These are for fabric. And then I use my glue gun and a silicone mat. And I'm going to use small pins to mark the center of the ribbon so I know where to fold and stitch. And I find it's also really useful to have pliers, because sometimes the needle and thread are hard to pull through the ribbon, so I use a pair of pliers. So here we go. To start, I'm going to cut a piece of ribbon, of the orange pattern ribbon. I'm going to cut this about 18 inches long, and for this one I'm going to use some older scissors because I don't want to, it has wire in this ribbon, so I don't want to dull the blade. So I'm just going to use some older scissors here. So to start, I'm just going to use a lighter and then melt the frayed edges of the ribbon. And this is polyester, so you just use a lighter and then gently melt that ribbon right there. So now I've marked the center of the ribbon with a needle, and then I'm going to fold each end, and it's going to overlap the center part of the ribbon about 1 3/4 of an inch. I just like to have a little extra buffer. It just folds better. And I already have a pre-made bow here, so I'm just going to make sure that these two ribbons match here. So basically I'm going to do an accordion fold. So there's like a little bit of a ridge, 2 ridges, and then a dip. Make sure that that dip is lined up with the back. Okay. So I have my needle and thread now, and I'm just going to knot the end. Here, I just wrap it around my fingers and then I just spin it off just to get a nice knot at the bottom. And then I have my bow here, and I'm just going to go through the center, just straight through the center there. Okay, so we got that there. And then I just wrap the thread around it. And then I just go through there again, the needle, starting go around again, and then sometimes I like to just put the needle under there, under those two threads, to kind of tie it off, and then I wrap the end of the thread around, just loop it there, so it makes a little bit of a knot. Okay, I got that little knot out there. So I'm just going to keep wrapping it around. Go through the center a few times. Okay, so you can always do this more, just to make sure it's secure, but it's also going to be stitched to the other side of the bow. So I'm just going to trim. I had a little bit of a cord here, so I just want to trim that thread. Okay, so now I'm going to put the two bows together, make sure that they're the same measurement. And sometimes it's a little bit off, like you can't get it exactly the same measurement even if you use the same measures, but it's close enough. So often only the artist can tell if there's something a little bit different about it. So I do both of those together. I hold them with my fingers, and then I just put the needle through, and I'm going to need my excuse me, pliers to get this needle through. It gets harder and harder as you go. And then just keep on wrapping. Keep going through the center. So my pliers again. Starting to come together, and I'm just going to keep on doing this until I feel it's nice and secure. So that's the general idea for the base, and I'm just going to start working on the smaller pieces now. So for this ribbon, I'm going to cut a piece that is 9 inches long. So I just use my ruler, and about there. Use my good scissors for this. Actually, I just want to double check before, because the other piece that I did had a little bit of a yellow bow in the center, so I just want to check to see if that's going to appear in the center. So I'll just put a little. It's important with prints that they line up as best as you can. Just want to make sure. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's a little bit off, but it's fine. I'll just cut a little bit more just in case. And here's the ribbon, and I'm just going to fold it in half. Then find the center. It's a little bit off. It's a little bit, so that's the center, because I want the flower in the center there. And for this one I could probably melt the ends. We'll see if it works. Yep, it's polyester, so that usually melts. It just gives it a nice finishing end. So then I fold the sides again. Just want to line up and make sure that this generally, here I'll take a look at this one, it's just overlapped by a little bit. I'll measure it. It's about a ½ an inch, maybe a little bit more. So now I have them the same size about, and the patterns line up. So I'm just going to stitch just like before. So just take the pin out, just fold it once, and then start stitching. So that looks pretty good, and I'm just going to attach it to the other ribbon. Just going to put this one, I'm definitely going to need my pliers to get through. So let's line that up so that's equal. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to need my pliers to push it through. There we go. The more ribbons you have, the harder it is to pull. So I'm just going to keep on wrapping this thread together, this ribbon together. Okay, so that looks pretty good now. And here I have the base. And I cut a piece of green leaf ribbon. It's about, let me measure it here. It's about 8 inches long. And then I'm just going to put this on the ribbon here, right on top. I think I'm just going to use one sprig here. I'm just going to find the center point of the ribbon, a little bit of an overhang, and then I'm just going to wrap this around here. It's a little bit tricky to do. Got to get around the leaves. So is that looking right? That looks pretty good. Keep on going through the bottom there. Okay, so that's starting to look pretty good. I'm just going to keep on doing that. I know it's a lot of thread, but you want to make sure that this stays together. Okay, so I stitched on this green leaf ribbon, and you could glue it if you want it to sort of sit, just with a little bit of hot glue, and I'll show you that step after. I'll just see if I want to do that. And then I'm just going to put the top layer on here. It's a little bit finicky with the green leaf ribbon. Just going to wrap it. Sometimes this is a little bit tricky. There's a lot of layers after a while. You want to make sure that that's snug. Just keep on looping the thread so it's nice and tight. And you're also going to put ribbon around the center point of this bow. So I want it secure, but it's also going to be held in place by a ribbon on the top, and then that'll attach it to the hair clip, the alligator clip. Okay, so I have my silicone mat. I found this at Dollar Tree. It's just because I'm going to be hot gluing and I don't want to get my surface, you know, any of the hot glue on the surface, and it protects it from the heat. And then I have my bow here, and then a little piece that the embroidered ribbon here. I've melted this part of it, so I'm just going to get my alligator clip here, the nice gold one, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the center. Just going to push the end. It's about the center of the ribbon there. Okay, then I'm going to just glue the back here. Put a bit of the glue on the back. Okay. And then push that into the center there of the ribbon. Make sure that's nice and straight. And then just wrap this around the top. And it's going to wrap the ribbon around the top. So it looks like that. And for this side, I'm just going to fold it under. I'm going to put a little bit of glue there. Just going to fold that little end under, and then I'm going to put it in there. Make sure it's all lined up, and then I'm going to glue that down. So this is the tricky part. Put a little bit of glue on top there. Make sure it's nice and snug. Of course, take away all the little glue pieces. So here's the finished Palm Royale inspired hair bow, and I think it looks retro and reminds me of Palm Beach and the show, of course. I certainly cannot have the clothes, but I can make myself a bow that reminds me of all the beautiful clothes that they had and the beautiful, you know, set pieces and things like that. So please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content. Thank you so much for watching.